Live? Am I not live? I'm live. Excuse me. And of course, at that moment, I have to hack along. So, hello, front row. I haven't been live in here much lately. I have been so swamped, like unusually swamped. But I was just about to record my flash briefing, my Alexa flash briefing. And what I do, I have a flash briefing on Alexa called Front Row Entrepreneur, of course. And what I do is each week I just rattle off the latest news and updates in social media, online marketing, digital tools, stuff like that. And as I was reviewing my notes, I remembered I had noted the update in Facebook that allows us to create lists, but I hadn't really explored it yet. So I want to show you what I did just now. Maybe you want to give this a try. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you so you see what I'm talking about. Okay, so here we are in my Facebook. This is my Facebook profile because, of course, you can't do this new thing except in your personal profile. Okay, now I want you to look at this engagement. I posted this 15 minutes ago. I created this list and I called it my favorite online tools. And there's typos galore on there. I got to fix it. But so I just created this real super quick. You could pick what color you want, and it was very easy to do. And you can't hyperlink anything, but I just thought I'm just going to test this because what I did was, because this is my personal profile, but what I did was I have chosen a very specific list, and the list that I chose is my ICA list. This has been around for a long time. And this is something that I always teach in just about all of my courses because it comes in really handy. So you don't want to use your personal profile for most of your business stuff. But every once in a while, it's okay. I mean, you start to sort of get a feel for what's cool and what's not cool, right? And as far as creating this list, this is something that I've been doing for quite a while now. So when I get a friend request, I'm talking about the friends list now. So when I get a friends request now, so let's look at these. All right, so let's look at Dominique. So I see we have 24 mutual friends. Okay, that's not a good example because she's local. Okay, here we go. Here's Cara. Cara and I have 166 mutual friends, and I can tell just by glancing, these are all business acquaintances, okay? So I'm going to actually click on her profile, and then I am going to respond to her friend request and click confirm. And of course, you want to make sure that like the person is not a fake account and all that stuff. But now what I'm going to immediately do is add to another list. And at this point, this is where I'm going to add her to ICA, which stands for Ideal Client Audience. You could name it, business, prospects, like whatever it is you want to call it. Now let's go back to my home page. All right. Hold on. Okay. My profile. Okay, so here we are, and I'm getting all this engagement. And I've already got stuff that I need, to which I need to reply. But this is just within the last 15 minutes. So what I think that you should do, if you have already created one of these lists for just business peeps, is go ahead and create a list and think about maybe doing like your favorite podcasts, your favorite business books, something like that, your favorite accounts to follow on Instagram, and see what happens. And just to show you, you go right here, and I think everybody has it now. If you don't, you'll have it soon. So you go like this, and then you're going to go list, and it didn't do this last time. It's giving you some ideas of things that you can do. But we're going to click create list with your own title, and then you could pick your color, you could number it or just make bullets, and then just easy as 1, 2, 3. But the key here is to target just those people. And by the way, I mean, while we're talking about it, did you know that, first of all, let me back up because I want to talk just a few more seconds about this. When you when you create these lists, or let me start with friend requests. When you accept a friend request from someone, a lot of times people think, oh, I don't want them to see all my stuff on my personal profile. This is the answer to that. So what I say is, unless they're weird or fake accounts, or you just know that this person is just, you can look at their profile, they just joined Facebook, or they just look sketchy. Well, you're not going to accept them. But beyond that, you could pretty much accept anyone, because if they're either going to be, you put them in the business category, or you could put them in the restricted category, in which case they're not going to see anything unless you unless you create a post as public. So basically, if you create a public post on Facebook, anybody could see it from anywhere, from Google or anywhere, okay? But you could create it so just certain groups see that, okay? Now, the other thing is, if you go to custom, you could say, all right, I want to share this post with ICA, but I want to make sure I don't want, let me pick someone who's probably in my ICA, just as an example. I don't want, let's see, Tracy, okay? So I want everybody in my ICA to see it, but not Tracy, okay? Or this is pretty cool. I want Tracy to see this, and that's it. I don't even have to do this here. It's like, it's only Tracy is going to see this. And it's not, Tracy will not get tagged. Tracy will see it in her news feed, just as she would any other piece of, she will just assume that everybody is seeing what she's seeing is what I'm trying to say. Okay. So think about it. What if you're trying to get in front of that decision maker? You're trying to speak at a conference, social media marketing world, and you want to get in front of that decision maker, right? Then wouldn't that be a cool way to do it? And the way that, okay, one time I used this in a very passive, what in the heck? I use this in a very passive, I hope I didn't have that the whole time when I was talking earlier, but one time I used it in like really kind of in a passive aggressive way. I do not like to get political at all on my social media. But things were kind of heated. It was before the election. And I had a friend who was, she was making an argument I didn't agree with, but I didn't want to be like, tag her in an article or send her an article. But I did this. I just had this one article that really basically refuted what she was saying, had some really good statistics in it and all that kind of stuff. And so I did that, where I made it so it was for her to see, but I didn't do anybody else. And I know that she seed it. I know that she saw it because she responded to it. See? So just something to think about, a little bit outside the box. All right, so I have to go back and record this flash briefing, but I just wanted to share that with you. Actually, let me just go over to the front row and just see if anybody is commenting or asking questions. Actually, I should be able to see it right here. Hold on. There we go. I didn't have comments showing. You're so organized. I used to do this, but kind of got lazy and stopped. So much regret. No, we're not going to allow regret, Brandy. But what you can do to get back on track is, because you can't go, it's like almost impossible to go back retroactively. But what you could do is on there, every time you get a birthday announcement from someone, like, you know how every day they show you the birthdays, then add them to the list on their birthdays. That's for you. Not for them. They're not going to be notified or anything, of course. But that way, 365 days from today, you will have cycled through everybody's birthdays and gotten them on the list where they need to be. Thank you, Karen. Nice to see you. All right. I got to get back to work, and that's it. See you later.